Hi everyone! Today I wanted to share with you a chapter from Linked, a new book by Gordon Korman. Gordon Korman is one of my favorite authors, and he's written over 82 children's books. You can't deny something is wrong when it's right there in front of you. Link, Michael, and Dana live in a quiet town, but it's woken up very quickly when someone sneaks into school and vandalizes it with a swastika. Nobody can believe it. How could such a symbol of hatred end up in the middle of their school? And who would do such a thing? Because Michael was the first person to see it, he's the first suspect. Because Link is one of the most popular guys in school, everyone's looking to him to figure it out. And because Dana is the only Jewish girl in the whole town, everyone's treating her more like an outsider than ever. The mystery deepens as more swastikas begin to appear. Some students decide to fight back and start a project to bring people closer together instead of dividing them further. The closer Link, Michael, and Dana get to the truth, the more there is to face. Not just the crimes of the present, but also the crimes of the past. Chapter 1. Michael Amarosa. My mother says I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached to my body. Too bad my phone isn't also attached somewhere. I left it at school again. I know this because it butt-dialed our landline at home. I have no idea why. Ever since I dropped it in the toilet, it's been glitchy. When I pick up, I hear a muffled motor in the background. I'm hoping that means the phone is in my locker and the noise is Mr. Kennedy, the custodian, using the big floor polishing machine. Then the sound dies abruptly. That either means Mr. Kennedy finished polishing or my phone died. It's super old, so the battery charge lasts a millionth of a second. I jump on my bike. Choke Cherry is a pretty small town, but we live on the opposite side, so it's a long ride. I'm used to it, though. I always leave something at school, and 9 times out of 10, I have to go back and get it. Mom and Dad would give me a lift, but then they would know. I'm going out, is all the detail that I provide. Thanks to the new security, every single door to the school is locked. But I still go from entrance to entrance, banging and yelling, hoping that Mr. Kennedy is close enough to one of them to hear me over the roar of the polisher. To my surprise, the door to the boys' locker room swings open when I kick it. I'm in. I'm entering the school from the back corner that leads out to the football field, but my locker is in the main hall, not far from the principal's office. The floor polisher sounds far away, maybe upstairs. I open my locker and there it is, the world's oldest phone. I probably shouldn't have called it 11 times because it's sitting on a tray of poster paints and all that vibrating has made the blue and yellow leak out together, raining green blobs down on my geography textbook. I'm president of the art club, so I've always got supplies in my locker and stains on my gym clothes and books, etc. Last year I got charged a $50 cleaning fee to remove the melted pastel from my iPad screen. Like it's my fault the temperature went up to 100 the weekend before the last day of school. I check the phone, dead, just like I suspected. I shut my locker and turn to leave. Only I don't leave, I freeze. I blink and blink again, struggling to wrap my mind around what I'm seeing. It's spray painted in red on the black, expansive wall above the staircase leading to the second story. That large X with each arm continuing at a right angle. I stare at it in horror and disbelief, hoping that my eyes are deceiving me and this ugly red symbol is something other than what I know it is. A swastika. Michael? Mr. Kennedy's voice startles me out of my state of shock. I drop my phone, which bounces on the floor. It's probably cracked, possibly ruined, but I can't tear my gaze from the symbol on the wall. What did you forget this time? The custodian asks in exasperation. All I can do is point. When Mr. Kennedy sees it, a sharp gasp is torn from him. He turns to me. You didn't. You wouldn't. Of course not, I answer. Why would the only Dominican kid in the whole school be the one to draw a racist symbol? I almost add, nobody would, but there's the evidence right in front of us. Somebody did. I reach down to pick up my phone and almost drop it again. The screen is fractured, but even through the spiderweb of damage, I can see that awful thing on the wall reflected in the glass. The custodian takes out his own phone. I'm calling the police. Chapter 2. Lincoln Rowley. Let's get one thing straight. None of this would have happened if it wasn't for dinosaur poop. I'm not making excuses for myself or anybody else, but way back in the Jurassic period, Some stegosaurus went to the bathroom in our mountains, and 100 million years later, Jordy, Duros, Clayton, Pouncey, and I are teetering across a darkened parking lot, struggling under the weight of an 80-pound bag. Are you sure this is the right stuff? I pant as the bag passes under the glow of the street lamp. It says peat moss mix, not fertilizer. What if it doesn't stink? Pouncey worries. Trust me, when we open the bag, we'll have more stink than we know what to do with, Jordy assures us. My mom topped the cedar hedge with this stuff 3 weeks ago. I'm still sleeping with the windows closed. It's a cool night, but carrying the heavy sack has us grunting and sweating like pigs. The girls are waiting for us in the front office. What took you so long? Sophie complains. We're freezing here. Try carrying this, I groan. It'll warm you right up. The sign on the door reads, Wexford Smith University Department of Paleontology. Why does a snooty college in Massachusetts have an office more than 2,000 miles away in Chokecherry, Colorado? That's where the dinosaur poop comes in. This is where they found it, all neatly fossilized. It looks like a rock, but don't you believe it. First they found the poop, then they found a footprint in the poop. Dinosaurs weren't too picky where they stepped. So the college sent a crew to investigate, and when the first bone fragments popped up, that was it. They say the scientists will be here for years. A few of their kids even go to our school. The digging is happening in the mountains, but the university opened up this little office in town so the PhDs can have a home base and also rub it in our faces how much smarter they are than us locals. The prank is my idea, inspired by a comment from Pouncey. Basically, if you get your jollies crawling on your hands and knees, digging up fossilized poop, then you'll really love an office full of the real thing, smell included. Who brought the funnel? Pouncey asked the girls. I did! Pamela holds up one of those plastic cooking funnels. The opening is maybe like 1/8 of an inch. Aw, Pam! Jordy explodes. There's no way we can get 80 pounds of fertilizer through that thing. Even in the gloom, I can see her face flame red. You just said funnel. You didn't say big funnel. It's fine, I interrupt. Once Pamela and Jordy start flirt fighting, it can go on for hours. They've been like that since we were all 7. True love, I guess. It's usually pretty entertaining, but not when you're carrying an 80-pound load. Shifting the weight of the bag to my left hand, I tear a 4-inch hole in the corner with my right. Instantly, the overpowering smell of manure reaches all of our nostrils. Pamela wrinkles her nose. That stinks. It's poop, Pam, not roses, Jordy snaps at her. Sophie holds open the mail slot and we insert our makeshift spout. Then we hold the bag high, tilt it, and begin shaking it until we feel the fertilizer starting to pour out. Pamela produces a 3x5 card that reads, Dinosaur poop, and stuffs it through the slot. Just in case they don't get the joke, she supplies. They're scientists, Jordy says impatiently. They're smart. They'll get it. They just might not appreciate it, I add, with as much of a grin as I can manage under the circumstances. They're not so smart, Pouncey scoffs. What's a diploma? A fancy piece of paper. That's what my dad says. He talks about his father a lot, which is weird since the two of them can barely stand each other. I brought this. Sophie reaches into her jacket pocket and produces the wishbone from a medium-sized chicken. Wexford Smith didn't really get excited until they found bones. She stuffs the fossil through the mail slot. That makes us all laugh, even Pouncey, who isn't known for his sense of humor. Since our eyes are adjusted to the darkness, when the car turns into the parking lot, the headlights are blinding. We pull the fertilizer bag out of the door, but there's no hiding it. We're caught in the act, lit up like performers on a stage. Jordy bellows, Run! No! I gasp. I'm too late. They all take off, leaving me literally holding the bag. Maybe 10 or 15 pounds went in through the slot. The rest of it collapses on top of me. My head hits the pavement, and I see a few stars that are not necessarily in the sky. I hear a car door and running feet. By the time I manage to roll out from under the sack and make it up to my knees, a man is gazing down at me in concern. You okay, kid? What stinks? I try to say, I'm fine, but the wind has been knocked out of me by at least 65 pounds of fertilizer. I told you the dry cleaner was closed, calls a woman's voice from the car. She pauses. Hey, isn't it George Rowley's boy? Busted! And that is chapter 1 and part of chapter 2 from Linked by Gordon Korman. Thanks for watching. See you next time.